So we are here at Nairn Falls Provincial Park and we're enjoying a very early June camp out. We're actually going to be traveling for a few days and in the Pemberton area. So in this video we're going to share our camp with you here at Nairn Falls.
Just a short video. We're only here one night.
Yeah. And Gordon is going to share a recent hike and paddle that he did over at Cheakamus Lake. So we hope you enjoy this video.
So we just came in this afternoon. It's actually nice. Temperature is low 20s. Hear the birds. Yeah, it's really nice. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get one of the sites near the river. I mean, those are amazing sites and they're all reserved. Just beautiful there. But we're just going to be here for one night and probably get a chance to maybe do a quick hike to the waterfall either tonight or tomorrow morning. It's supposed to rain though. It's the next 3 days are basically rain. So we're trying to enjoy the little bit of sunshine we have.
Brewing Company, Lawndale. Cheers everyone. Oh, it's pretty hoppy.
Good.
So this is our view. Not too shabby.
Some stuff left behind from previous campers. Except for that white bag, which is our firewood.
Oh, mosquitoes are out already.
They're not real mosquitoes, I think they're tourists.
Yeah. Finch isn't very happy, stuck in the van by himself. He really wants to come out. We might let him out. Yeah, he's meowing. Yeah, he can hear the birds. We might let him out on his leash, we'll see. So Gordon's managed to coax Finch out of the van on his leash. We've been training him on our deck, so we just have to make sure he doesn't eat any leaves or anything because there's some toxic plants around. He just ran back in when somebody was using the outhouse. The door slammed. So for dinner tonight, I'm just keeping it simple. It's our first night. I already cut and washed the vegetables. I've got some celery, carrot, zucchini, and mushrooms. And I'm just going to make a really simple stir fry. And then we're going to have it with these rice packets. So after I finish with the vegetable, I'll just toss that in there to warm it up. And then Gordon's got some cold rotisserie chicken. And I've got some fried seitan for my protein. And also, I've actually made up at home a stir-fry sauce. Basically, it has some dark soy sauce, light soy sauce, rice vinegar, a little bit of mushroom sauce, which is kind of like a vegan equivalent of oyster sauce, and sesame oil. And I'm just gonna, and some cornstarch as well, and a little bit of water. And once the vegetables finish cooking, then I'll just toss that in, and it'll make a nice savory sauce. There we go. There's the seitan and some green onions sprinkled on top for me, and that's for Gordon.
Okay, sandals aren't recommended, but they work in a pinch. Well, good morning. A little after 7 o'clock. We had a relatively pleasant night last night. It's very quiet. Rained a little bit, but not too bad. So Mickey and Finch are trying to get a little bit more sleep, and I decided I'd scoot up here to Nairn Falls. It's not a very long trip. I think the trail's 1.5 kilometers. Maybe from our campsite about 2 kilometers. Very well maintained, nothing really steep. Other than the end where there's some rock you have to clamber up. But the falls are just beautiful. When we were here before, they were very similar. I think there might be a bit more water today. The river looks quite high. Anyway, beautiful. Time to head back. Time for breakfast.
Oh, it's very quiet. It's the calm before the weekend rush.
So about 2 weeks ago I did a hike paddle at Cheakamus Lake, which is just a great area. What was so nice is the mountains were just covered in like pillows of snow, because it's been a cold May, so there was still some snow happening throughout the month of May. But it was nice. Hiked in, a lot of deadfall, even at the road at the start there was deadfall. But it was a nice paddle and just a beautiful day. So I hope you enjoy the trip along with me. Alright, so I'm out today doing a hike and paddle to Cheakamus Lake. Trailhead's right here. One challenge, you'll see no cars. Very unusual. That's because there's a tree blocking the access to the road. So it's literally just on the other side of the parking lot sign. I looked to see if there's any way I could move it, and I don't have a saw. I texted our friend Henry Wang, who always travels on Forest Service roads with a saw, but he's busy doing a dive, so he wasn't too far away actually. Mickey and Finch are at home, and I'm just going to head out to Cheakamus Lake. One of my favorite trips to get a little paddle in. I hope to be able to just walk to the lake, paddle to the end, and what I'll probably do is hike from the back out just to do something a little different. So there's no wind right now, but by the time I get there the wind's probably going to be blowing to the east, which will be with me. And then I'll just paddle back a little ways and then probably hike out. Looking forward. This is a beautiful trail. There's old growth forest. You've seen it in some of our previous videos. Go by a nice river, and yeah, it's just really nice. Not sure how much snow there may be. I don't think there'll be much. I can see some little bits in the forest where there's some shade, but otherwise I think it'll be fine. Coming in, it was just gorgeous. The mountains, even I can look over here, they're like marshmallows with such fresh snow. So it's actually May 20th, a long weekend here in Canada, and still getting lots of fresh snow in the mountains. Just beautiful. There we go, 3 kilometers to the lake. Singing Creek is the last campsite. Helm Creek, you've seen in some of our videos. You have to take a turn, cross the river, and then head up there. It's a beautiful spot. There'd still be lots of snow there, of course. And Mickey and I have camped there the same weekend and have had snow. That was 3 days ago. And unfortunately, I forgot my bear spray. This is about 6 kilometers before Whistler. You take a right at an area called Function Junction, and then the road's about 7 or 8 kilometers. Very bumpy today, lots of potholes. And then of course right now there's a tree in the way, but I'm sure that'll disappear soon enough. Skunk cabbage just sort of blooming here right now. This area was logged off. Don't know when. My guess is 40 years ago, something like that, based on the size of trees, but I'm just guessing. There you go, no need to guess. That's where I generally worry about bears, because it's usually very bushy and you can't be seen, but there's no leaves yet, so easily seen. So just the start of some of the old growth. You can see this tree, it's probably maybe 5 feet at the base. Beautiful. Sun coming in on the moss. All right, gotta get going. Otherwise it'll take me a lot longer than normal to get these 3 kilometers to the lake. So usually not too concerned about bears here. I've been on this trail many times. I've seen a bear maybe once. And usually of course I'm with Mickey and we're chattering or banging our hiking poles together to make some noise so a bear will hear us coming, and I think they tend to avoid us. But a lot of bears would have been coming out of hibernation just a little while ago. Not a lot of food here for them. So they might be wandering around. Recording a video helps because I get to chat as I move along, because the alternative is probably for me to start singing, which leads me to a story which is better told another time, but some good friends know it. Just beautiful little creeks. And look at these trees. This whole section is so peaceful. Obviously very windy here at one time. Reasonably recent, or the park's people would have cleaned up the trail. I love this rock in the roots, by the way, on the tree. Another 1.5K pretty soon for me. Okay, more deadfall. River's down right there. Beautiful. If I'm not careful, that's where I'll end up in my pack raft. They're clambering over and under. All doable. Question is, I'm definitely going to be over that one. This one, I think under. My pack's stuck. Changed my mind. I probably could get under, but I'm gonna have to take my pack off and I'm lazy. So instead, I'm just gonna clamber over and hope I don't slip too far. There. Now, I wouldn't get too high a score from gymnastic judges on that. And this is a big leg over a giant log and slide across. That's my theory anyway. And yes, successful. It's beautiful. Yo, bear. Luckily nothing. I just heard something clomp in the forest off to my left a minute ago. So likely just a branch falling in the wind or something. Okay, technically that's, I was going to say it's the end of the lake, but it's probably just the start of the river at the end of the lake. I'll paddle to the end of the lake, which is, it's probably about 5K. So what I'll do is I'll come back, pull in at Singing Creek campground, and then hike back if everything looks good. Singing Creek makes its way down from Singing Pass up at the Whistler area. This used to be the first campsite at the start of the lake, but as you can see, they're concerned about some of the big trees coming down, and there's been a lot of deadfall, a lot more. I didn't bother recording on the way in. So I'll go a little bit farther, get close to the water, and then put my pack raft in. I think that last campsite has been closed for many years, actually. Spot to put in. You can hear a plane not too far away and a butterfly. So a few years ago, my friend Michael, who's seen some of our videos, and I came here and stayed probably just around the corner at a nice little point there, and we brought an inflatable kayak with us, which is much bigger and heavier, and then we paddled to the end of the lake and back and camped overnight. It was great. When we were coming back, it was really windy, and unfortunately we were going against the wind. It took us a lot longer to get back out on the water than I'd expected, but you know, that's what makes it an adventure. Otherwise it would have been just a nice little trip, but with the wind and a little bit of extra effort, it made it an adventure. So kind of fun. I'm going to put in here, paddle out. All right, so unfortunately my GoPro froze, which it has a tendency to do. I shouldn't trust it. It's failed me many times, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm on my phone, which makes it very difficult to film paddling. So I've just gotten away. Hopefully you can see launch there, and I'll just swap cameras around and you get an idea of the lake and the mountains around here. It's very beautiful. There's a little breeze, but nothing too bad. So I'm going to paddle over to that point, try and get out of the wind, and then I'll see how bad it is and right to the end, hopefully. Talking to Mickey, getting instructions on how to reset the GoPro. Fortunately, I get cell phone here. It worked. She's a technological genius, at least compared to me. All right, thanks, Mickey. Bye. Here we go. It's pretty breezy, actually. It was really difficult getting here, but the wind has now turned the completely opposite direction, and now it's blowing quite strongly that way, which is the direction I want to go. Just the different mountains. I know Cheakamus is on the right, Overlord's ahead of me. Not sure the names of some of the other summits. I'm finally at the end. I'm not going to go ashore because I know in the map it's a protected area. It's not clear whether you're supposed to go ashore, so I'm not going to. Just gorgeous though, the mountains all around. Took me a little longer than I expected to get here. Maybe the lake's a little longer than I thought. Just beautiful though. There's a little river coming in right over there. I'm just going to scoot around, go up it a little bit, and then head back. This is actually more marsh-like, and it just goes in. I've been up here before. It goes into almost like an estuary up there, and the water's really quite shallow, and of course the banks are close. If you go over to that glacier in that direction, there's actually quite a large river coming in, and I've tried paddling up it before, but literally I'll get 50 feet, and that's as far as I can go in the current. So I'm going to head back pretty much to that point you see right there. That's where, just on the other side of Singing Creek. It's getting a little windy on the lake, but I'll stay close to shore. Singing Creek campsite. More gravel than the last time I was here. Quite a bit more, actually. Actually, to be honest, I'm taking it a little bit easy, enjoying the view. That paddle here was harder than I expected. The wind was stronger. Not bad, but it's just constantly against you. And it's such a beautiful view. So nice here. So I think I'll relax for a few minutes, then pack up, and then scoot out. Water's so clean. Fellow and his daughter camped over there, Singing Creek Campground. I'm going back that way. It's cold, winds come up. There's so many dead trees through the forest here. I can't believe it. I'm climbing over and under. None are too difficult, but still. I really enjoyed the paddle. So beautiful, the lake. The water's so clean. Because I know everybody wanted to know, the log is gone, but only a few minutes ago. I just ran into a young guy. He's got a Delica van and a big axe. So he basically chopped it apart with an axe and dragged one section over. Well done. So my day was a relatively long day. My GPS showed about 21 kilometers. And that's in part because I'm parked a little farther down the road, in part because I zigged and zagged across the lake. So, fun day though. I enjoyed it. The deadfall on the way out was much worse than the deadfall on the first 3K in. And some big trees, like some of the trees were probably 4 to 5 feet in girth. So, huge. Anyway, time to go home.
So hope you enjoyed our overnight stop at Nairn Falls Provincial Park and also Gordon's paddle and hike at Cheakamus Lake.
Yeah, both are fun.
So if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.